those things where he can continue that, or it can be another player to step up. And he kind of pointed out Crimsix with that with .62 KD, I believe you said it was.
Yeah.
That's not going to cut it at all, especially not against a team like FaZe. So if anyone's going to step up for the team, at least you're looking at Crim.
Well, here we go, folks. Rig draft has begun, which means we will be getting into the action here momentarily. Share the stream. Enjoy the enhanced viewing experience on MLG.TV/COD. The new program now coming on out, more in-depth stats than ever before. It is time for game number 2, Retaliation Search and Destroy. Oh man, I am excited for some S&D. The most intense moments in Call of Duty history come from this game mode. Off the break, it will be Zuma, Clayster, Enable, and Attach on the offensive side of things. And you know, the man who was doing it all that first map, Zuma, I'm going to watch him off the break.
Well, and one of the nice things about the bomb change that actually came in with the patches, you see both bomb sites gone to quite often. You see FaZe right now, they're going to be leaning towards A, and for the moment, Optic Gaming has absolutely no one watching. However, you can see players have already cleared out B, and it looks like number 8 on the minimap, Karma, is already rotating back to potentially help his friend, but FaZe is playing incredibly passive.
The few times I've watched Optic Gaming on this map, that has been their break in round 1. They send 3 down the arch stairs on defense. They have 1 hold the top hotel hallway. They're not going to find anything this time around. Jammer comes in, which does hit Zuma, so Optic have some information. They know at least 1 player is here by bridge. How do they elect to rotate on over? You see here on your minimap, all 4 green arrows moving on in for Optic Gaming. They're expecting this pressure towards the A site from FaZe, as First Blood has yet to be struck.
Yeah, FaZe right now is waiting for Optic to make a mistake. That's why they have entire map coverage instead of trying to get this bomb down. So that First Blood is going to be key, because right now all of Optic's presence is where they need to be over by this bomb. Crimsix nearly getting picked off as well, but still able to get just behind cover. Still, though, 24 seconds left. The bomb's got to go down soon. And
look, the time ticking down, which could favor either side, but it's almost like it's a down for Clayster to flank, and he misses a lot of shots there. 3 versus 3. Karma gets First Blood. He's got the help of Crimsix. I'm still watching to see if Clay can win this one. No! It's Scump that gets the better of him. 5 seconds remaining. There's no time for the objective to go down. OG. Patience pays off as they take that round and go up 1-0.
I mean, it really is just a great decision not to send anybody on the flank. You want to take these gunfights as a team, making sure you can trade them out. And again, you saw the setup from FaZe. They were waiting for someone from Optic Gaming to push, and it just did not happen. And then they just didn't have enough time. They had to make something happen, and they just came up short. So saw one strategy in the books. We're going to see what OG decides to try and do on offense. Looks like they're going towards B.
We've touched on how Crimsix struggled so far in the game mode this weekend. Currently 2-0, and Optic, they know the nade spots toward those arch stairs. They don't actually get anybody this time around. Karma will be the first one to challenge. He's got the help of Formal there, but it's Zuma striking First Blood. All 3 kills for FaZe coming from this one. Man, there's the 4th as well. Tommy Papa lights out here in game 2.
Feeling confident as well. Has 2 players trapped in blank shot. Both are both there. Clayster's able to clean. Gunfight comes out on top. Scump, there's just not much he can do in that situation. So FaZe getting back on the board, all because of that First Blood from none other than Zuma.
Look at the amount of hits it took to kill him. 8 bullets spread across Attach, Enable, and then finally Clayster to close that one out 1-1. So far, the defensive side has been the winning side on Retaliation, Search and Destroy. Back on over to FaZe, who are on offense. And you saw Clayster in that final kill cam with the 2 kills to close it on out. We'll watch him off the break to see how he holds off this lower street push.
Seems to be pretty much what we saw in the first time around. Very slow play in Optic Gaming, as you pointed out. Pretty much the exact same strat. Flooding 3 people out towards B, gonna back at least one of those players up. So again, just waiting for someone to make a mistake. Now that being said, the A bomb plan is going to be open as Clayster is going to fall on that flanking. That might be just enough motivation to not try and get this bomb down. FaZe is going to need to get some picks.
Scump has had some great challenges with that OSA so far this map, getting up close and personal. The NV4 didn't stand a chance, but look, good Attach and Crew trying to flank this curve side. Does get shots into 1. 3 versus 2 now for Optic Gaming, making it 2v2 as there's no trade for Scump, so the 4v2 number advantage Optic Gaming had has now been eliminated. And that's going to force him to play from some awkward engagements. The objective has been planted. How does Attach play this one? He's going all the way across the map.
Yeah, Optic Gaming is going to have no clue where Attach is. So Enable's by himself. He's giving away his position. He's actually going to be pinched in just a little bit. So Attach is going to need to come help. See, Enable is going to fall, but still Attach's position is not known, and he is in the best spot possible to clutch this 1v2. He is going to get spotted, though, and Formal's going to waste no time.
Shot
coming in. Crimsix.
Whoa!
Letting him know
You know, the bags may have been retired, but there's a new way to let your opponents know you're saying hello. That's the salute. Crimsix, he hasn't shown emotion since he was constructed in a warehouse at birth. And Formal with precise shots wins Optic Gaming that round. I love a little banter, don't you, Chance?
A lot of banter, honestly.
Yes.
Great.
The more the merrier.
Be delightful to see. Salute feature. Pretty nice as well. Still, though, FaZe been nothing but defensive-sided wins, so they're going to be looking to tie this one up at 2-2. Optic Gaming going to be going back towards this B side, but FaZe is going to meet them right there. There's going to be a lot of gunfights going down. If anyone decides to challenge, players sliding across, getting aggressive as well. Karma's going to try and go to bedroom. He's going to get shot in the back, and no one's going to be there for the instant trade. However, they at least know where Zuma is.
I don't think they saw Zuma cross, so they had no idea he was playing under the scaffolding side. Karma tries to make the hero play. Doesn't work out this time around. High risk, high reward. Zuma basically gets gifted a kill there with Enable for Scump and Formal, the T2P duo. Seeing if they can convert their first offensive round of the game across the map. Is Formal possibly about to get in an engagement here? 2 versus 2. Formal now double positive, and look at the rotation it's now prompted. Did Scump see it? It doesn't appear so, as on your minimap, FaZe players just trying to move together while Optic Gaming have to focus on the objective.
Optic Gaming being very patient right now. They only have 30 seconds, and it looks like they're going to rotate into the rotation. So FaZe is one step ahead for the moment, but it's going to come down to those gunfights. Formal's going to have a player right in front of him. Looks like Clash was able to get that one. Scump there is there for the trade. 1v1 Scump with the Osa comes out on top. Is it T2P? I think it is.
Oh, Chance, you're making me excited, my friend. Here's it is from Scump's perspective. Perfect shots to get the 2-piece. Optic Gaming clutch the 2v4. Those are rounds you cannot give away if you're FaZe Clan here on Championship Sunday.
Especially because that's the first offensive win we've seen so far. So Optic Gaming, again, looking very strong to tie up this series, but they have a long way to go. FaZe have been playing very passively on offense so far, and it looks like they're going to be mixing the strats up. Heading mid-map, nice little spread. They have a player on top, Plaque. Zuma able to get the first blood. That's like his 3rd or 4th one, and all of that kill feed is red on the left side. Formal in the 1v4. He might be able to pick up one, but he's surely going to get traded out. He doesn't even get that.
That was easy for FaZe. Optic have done the same thing on defense 3 times in a row. So FaZe, instead of sending players to focus towards that top bridge area, say, we will beat you at your own game. They send 4 towards bridge. They storm out the area, or sorry, 4 towards Arch, storm out the area, wipe Optic Gaming off the map. Beautiful response from FaZe. And OG, they're now beginning to understand, okay, FaZe are adapting to what we're doing. I expect the next defense for Optic to be set up completely different.
Well, a problem right now Optic is going to have is how many first bloods has Zuma got. Like, that's what he's, like, built his reputation off in Search and Destroy. He's magical with that, and he's been consistent with it. This time, though, it is going to be Formal that strikes first. Zuma's going to go for the trade, and Crimsix is going to be there. The bait and switch coming in from Optic. Attached, though, it's going to even up the odds just a little bit. We saw a 2v3 clutch earlier from the Optic Gaming boys. Can FaZe do the same? Well, Attached is going to fall on Naval. It's a very difficult situation. This looks like to be a round for Optic.
Naval. What can he do from this spot? 3 of the best players in the history of Call of Duty alive against him. He's going to go ahead and check that top angle near patio. 30 seconds remaining. Remember, in competitive, it is a 7.5 second defuse. There's the first blood and no trade. Scump and Formal both still alive as they're going to begin the rotation towards this bottom bike area. Naval sees one, but not going to happen. Optic Gaming close the door, now up 4-2.
Yeah, and the primary goal in a situation like that is just to try and get as many kills as possible, and if the opponent makes mistakes, then you actually try and clutch the 1v3. So you saw he was taking his time, checking his corners. It's just a tough situation to go in from the get-go. Either way, though, Optic Gaming, they've won the only offensive round so far, and they're looking to do the exact same.
If you're just tuning in, Game 1 was close down to the wire, 250 to 238 for FaZe. Now, FaZe are on the back foot, though, having to fight from 2 rounds behind. And Chance, what did I say? Next defense, Optic going to change things up. It's exactly what they do. The Arch strat no longer working, so they'll put a little bit more focus towards this top patio side.
Well, they're going to have 2 players up there right now. A lot of shots exchanging as well. Now, this bomb can likely get planted. There's still going to be a player for Optic creeping around top bedroom. That's going to be Scump. Glacier, though, he's going to be the player supporting his teammate. looks like they're going to be potentially going for this before they get this bomb down. Scump, though, able to get the first blood on none other than Zuma. Scump's going to get the second as well. Not going to get traded out. Formal's in a tough spot, but he's got the help from his teammates attached, though. He's able to pick up Karma on the exchange. Glaciers going to be able to pick up Prince 6, and this quickly turns into a 2 versus 2.
Listen, every single kill here is where I'm thinking action's going to develop. It doesn't wind up happening. 2v4 potentially for the side of FaZe as they're trying to match Optic Gaming. What can Scump do? Look at what he's got to use, though, folks. That payload ability, the perfect one for this scenario. Did he get spotted in top bedroom? I don't believe so. 20 seconds left. He's going to choose a site to go to, and, well, we know more than they do. That is not the right one. Scump against Attach and Clayster. The world champions back in Advanced Warfare against arguably the best ever in Call of Duty. Scump challenges first. The OSA from this range, not what you want to have. He knows he's got to go from a different angle as he'll go ahead, back up, regen his health, and challenge again.
Well, I'm not sure if FaZe knows he has reactive either. If he could get close to him and challenge, he could easily get that 2-piece because, again, those players are just bunching up. Still, though, he does not have really nearly enough time to be able to pull this off. He's just trying to go for the pick, so not really going to see a round win out of this. But, again, just wants to stay alive, not give the opponent too much. So looks like FaZe is going to be able to come out on top.
If you saw right there, FaZe never gave Scump an opportunity to take a one-on-one gunfight. There was always a second player challenging. And while that's about a minute of Scump staying alive, actually Clay does kill him in the end. And there you see the hype from Clayster. He is locked in and focused. As FaZe, they want this 2-0 series lead chance, but it's not going to be easy. Optic still have the round lead.
Going to have to continue it now. It's been said in the past that once you get to 4 rounds in Search and Destroy, that's where things really get difficult if you're the team that is behind. So again, Optic Gaming still favored. Got to win an offensive round, though. Really put the stamp on it.
Scump 7-4. He's been carrying the objective for Optic Gaming all weekend in Search and Destroy. And here's your mini map. Look at what FaZe are doing. It is time for a change of pace. And there's going to be one player in the back ready for this for Optic Gaming. Does Crim expect this pressure? They haven't seen anything at B, so they've got to know something's up.
Here's the where. There's a player all the way in the back. Shots are going to go down. He's able to stay alive for just a moment. The player's going to challenge, though. Attach, able to clean that one up. The 4-man flank is successful still, though, 2v4. And you see, yep, Clayster, he was waiting for the rotation the entire time. Saw both those players cross. You can see he's waiting for those red arrows to come up with him. He's not challenging. He's doing the smart thing. His teammates are there. Gives his position away, but Attach cleans up one. The other's going to fall shortly after. Perfect Search and Destroy right there from the FaZe clan.
I've got to clap it up for that. That is one of the best rounds of defensive Search and Destroy I have seen on Retaliation. Optic played right into the hand of FaZe, and now we've got ourselves a tied game, folks. Going into round number 9, Optic Gaming, they've given up 3 in a row as they've got to regain their control on the map. Clayster with this overdrive, and folks, it is about to get juicy. Clayster wants to make the impact. Oh, doesn't spot the first one there. Another player challenging as they'll back up. They see the light of that sniper scope and do not want to challenge at all.
That would be a pretty key giveaway. You can see, though, 2 players have pushed up over towards that flat area. So FaZe does have pretty good positioning as well for being on offense. Scump, though, again, it's going to be Zuma that falls as well. Formal, though, loses the gunfight to Attach from that close range. Also a little bit too good. And you can see exactly what Clayster's game plan is. Someone at some point will challenge Bedroom. He's going to be ready for it, or he's not going to be ready for it. Gets the worst possible timing. Attach, though, is able to pick up a kill.
2 versus 1. Clayster and Enable up against Karma. Karma going to check towards this low side. Hasn't been spotted. Doesn't make it a 1v1 as of yet. And the player actually gets out with his life. It's a worst case scenario. 1-on-1 active camo gets used, though. Beautifully read by Enable. Those payload abilities coming into play in the end. We'll see it again from Enable's perspective. He gets out with his life. Reads it like a book. Karma did have rewind, but when you can't see the player, you don't know it's time to use it. 5-4. FaZe now 1 round away from going up 2-0.
And that's rough, too. He was a bullet away from being able to get that clutch. Either way, though, backs against the wall. Optic Gaming already down 1-0 in the series. Obviously, a must-win round. Looks like they're going back to B. So far, though, FaZe, they get aggressive by this B bomb side on defense, and they've seen quite a bit of success.
Already 1 payload used. That's going to be Attached, getting out with his life for the moment. Crim 6 with first blood. It's exactly what Optic Gaming need. And look, it's pushed FaZe back. This objective now opened on up. Do Optic Gaming read it correctly? They do. Scump will go ahead and plant it. He'll earn that reactive armor for this round if needed. Optic Gaming just need to play this one the way they know how to. to close this round on out. Formal probably going to be the first one to get into engagement here as he's going to get called to the ceiling, but he needs help. 3v2 now.
Well, really, if you're Optic Gaming, you want this round win without burning any of those payloads as well. So you want the cleanest round you possibly can. Karma's able to pick up a kill, and it looks like it's just going to be that 1v3. Glaciers able to get one. He's going to get traded out for the second. So we're going to round 11. Could you ask for anything more? A 4-point game or something like that in the hard point, or I think it was 12 actually. And now round 11 in the S&D. And again, you got to keep an eye on those payloads.
Vegas is waking up, folks in the venue. If you're ready for this round 11, make some noise. Oh boy, it's FaZe on offense. What do they try to do? Is there another trick up their sleeve? And oh no, this one's going to go quick. It's an overdrive right away from Clayster, and he's realizing Optic Gaming are here, and somehow 2 kills for FaZe. Crim answers with one of his own. Optic Gaming into 2 versus 3. They're going to back on up. Karma will challenge. 2 versus 2. There's one player just on the other side. Crimsix gets the kill as well. It's a 1v2. Clayster by himself. He's pinned in the corner. One-on-one. Karma gets the kill. And look at Scump in the camera's face. Optic Gaming, no, the shot call works out. Woo-hoo-hoo! This rivalry makes me happy to be an American.
Oh, God, that poor cameraman. He just doesn't deserve it, man. Scump is getting hyped.
Do we have a wipe for that lens? I think he spit on it a little bit, or is that me?
And he's jacked, too. Like, you got a buff Scump. Flexing and screaming, getting excited, tying up this series at 1-1. And what a play at the end to finish it as well. The play call from FaZe, for a moment, worked beautifully. The aggression with the overdrive comes in. They get the first 2 kills, and Scump doesn't even get that kinetic off. Karma and Crimsix, though, the 2v4 clutch. We saw quite a few clutches that game, and that's what matters most. We needed Crimsix to step up. He did exactly that, and again, Karma continuing his impressive performance on Championship Sunday.
This series so far living up to what we want to see, because you think of that hard point, 1 push, the difference for Optic Gaming winning and losing that map. FaZe take it by 12 seconds overall. Then in the Search and Destroy, 1 kill is the difference as FaZe dropped that one 5-6. Optic Gaming clutch up, led by Scump's 9-7 2-plant performance. Oh, buckle in, folks. We've got ourselves a long series ahead. Up next is going to be Throwback Uplink. If we do get to that 5th map, it will be Scorch, Search, and Destroy. Breakout Hardpoint will be the second hardpoint in this game. Chance, I've got a smile on my face, my friend. This has been so much fun to cast.
Yeah, I'm just happy we're going to see a guaranteed another hard point.
Yes.
Again, that 250 to 238, as close as could possibly be. I want another barn burner like that.
Guys, I want to see how you're all watching at home. There's so many people here in the venue. Tweet out pictures. Use the hashtag MLGVegas. Spread the love. Tweet out the stream. Get people in here. It's FaZe versus Optic. 14 months since the last time this match has happened on the main stage. Chance, we have ourselves a tied series going into Uplink. Where do you see this one going from here?
Again, you have to predict it's just going to be a close game. I said it earlier. I think Optic Gaming has a slight edge, ever so slight. But again, that's the difference of a 1-point throw getting intercepted and just barely slipping through the cracks.
Oh, man, I don't even know where to call this, because I've seen both of these teams force the spawns out of their opponent on this map and absolutely slaughter them, especially when scoring on that back baseball side. Once they force them out towards that blue area, FaZe specifically earlier this weekend, Enable knows how to read this setup. He pushed all the way back towards Barn, let the opponents run to him. No scored dunk after dunk. Optic Gaming, though, coming into this, Uplink for me, it's the game mode that they won against E6 to really get themselves that series lead. I think they have what it takes in this one. Either way, as you mentioned, excited to see this second hard point, as we know it will go at least that far in the series, potentially a Game 5 ahead.
So who are your players to watch them from either team? Because again, it's as close as could possibly. We've seen different players have different moments of highlights as well. So who do you have your eye on?
For me, it's Formal versus Clayster. Both of these guys actually in that first hard point were very quiet. If you remember, Clayster was like 8-15 off the break. Formal finishes 23-35. 2 of the best ARs in the history of Call of Duty. Their impact not felt in that first hard point. Want to see it now brought out in this game number 3. It's going to be Throwback Uplink. And we saw Optic earlier this weekend, actually on this map too, with perfect 1-point throws. They hit 5 inside number 1. They then dunked 3 times inside 2. Here we go, baby. Game number 3, Uplink on Throwback. FaZe Clan versus Optic Gaming. Christmas came early this time around. Finally, it is here. Chance, who are we watching off the break?
Either Formal or Clayster, you get a pick on this one. But again, that's the age-old question as well. Back even in Advanced Warfare, the debate was always who is the best AR in the game. And as you said, 14 months we've had to wait to finally get our answer. We might be able to find out here. And it looks like kicking it off with Formal on Uplink.
They're going to go ahead and push right on through this Granny side. Yeah, crowd, you can get into it. It's game number 3. Throwback Uplink First Blood for Zuma, attached with one of his own as well, as already Optic Gaming are feeling the pressure.
Well, Optic Gaming, they do have the opportunity on this side to play a little bit passive and try to slow the game down as much as possible. Still though, FaZe, they are heating up. That's going to be nearly 4 down. It is going to be Scump this last one up, and he wins the necessary gunfight. So, again, aggressive so far coming from FaZe, but OG, nice little defensive stand.
Yeah, there was a team kill in there that actually backfired for FaZe as players stacked up in front of each other. A little miscommunication. As Optic Gaming will just push right out towards that bottom Granny side, retake some control of the map. That's the key. You want bike path held for your team. That's what Optic tried to do, but FaZe do win the gunfights, and that will prompt Enable to fly right on up the map as he wants to be the one to lead this drone pressure. Attached now with the objective, going for the first potential point of the game.
Oh, got to get the beat down as well. Has a couple players in front of him, and he's not going to be able to get that off in time. Now, you get in a situation like that, you have a couple options. You can throw that drone just straight over Grandma's, get a 1-point toss with like perfect coverage. You do run the risk of players being able to intercept the drone, though. So you see him trying to force the issue. However, it does not get any points. So again, 2 defensive stands we've seen from Optic Gaming. First time really we've seen him on the attack. Zuma's causing problems. Doesn't finish the gunfight in time, so he is going to get traded. Optic Gaming still putting pressure towards Bowling.
And this is a sign from FaZe that they've studied up on this map. You can see they're trying to push through Bowling, get control of Bus. It's not working for them right now. Optic do botch the 1-point throw, so no 1-0 lead. There's only one player here, which will be Formal, to try to convert this score, but with everybody from FaZe pitching in, not going to happen. So I did commend Optic Gaming on good throws earlier on this weekend. This time around, though, they missed their first opportunity.
Got to be able to do them from both sides. And again, if it's going to be a close game, every point obviously matters. Still, though, 3 minutes left. We got a lot of uplink to play. We can already see Scump so far is playing pretty aggressively in his opponent's space, but players spread all over this map. Scump's going to be able to pick up his 2nd kill on this streak. Going to have a player coming up to his side as well. Going to get the 3rd, and that's the clearance that Optic Gaming needs.
And they know where the final player is as well. Scump is trying to chase him down. Challenges, gets the kill. Double positive, 10 and 5, and they're looking for more. Optic Gaming now moving up with the drone. It's 2 more dead on FaZe. Make it 3. Crim6 with the dunk. Optic Gaming in the lead, and he's looking for more.
And this is a huge play from Crim. If he can just stay alive and cause problems, that's going to allow his teammates to push up all the way from mid-map, though Enable is going to be able to take him down. So going to be back to that 50-50 standoff, but nice early points coming from OG.
Love the setup by Optic because Crim stays alive, as you mentioned, Chance. Didn't let FaZe get that map control. So instead of FaZe looking for a counterplay, they're now having to fight for mid-map positioning, which is not ideal at all. Scump has pushed all the way through, and oh no! Turns and burns on the Clayster. There's more as well. 3 dead again for FaZe. Formal with the green light to grab the drone and go. They do actually drop it, so it's Scump by himself here. He's got some help coming from Karma. Still a score opportunity is possible. Karma with the help of 1. They're trying to sneak it through, but Attach shoots right through 2 players to stop that pressure. Beautiful stuff from him.
Man, Scump is back, though. I'll tell you, 14 and 7. That OSA is a huge game changer going for him. Of course, on the flip side of things, we already know FaZe going to be pretty comfortable as well. Attach going to be rocking this drone. You see playing very passively. There's actually a player on the flank right now. Crim6 is behind. Quite a few. He's going to be able to clean up Attach. That drone, though, not going to get reset just yet.
I don't think they were ready for Crim to be that close on the flank. Thankfully for FaZe, the remaining players do stop the Optic Gaming push. Scump is a different player in respawn game modes when he can use that OSA. 15 and 8, leading the lobby by 4 kills in the slaying department, as he'll go ahead, rotate towards middle map as we're in our final minute of the first side of Uplink on Throwback.
Well, FaZe right now has that mid-map control. Again, Optic Gaming, they can play passively, they can slow the pacing down. They're doing just that. They're able to pick up 2 kills as well. Attach just trade out Scump, and now you see those green arrows starting to push up towards mid-map. Again, just for some control.
So much strategy around in this game mode. Beautiful stuff by Clay to call it out to Attach. He gets the help he needs, but again, Optic, this is what's been working for them so far this series. Every time there's some map positioning earned, it seems like someone gets the 2-piece they need for their team. This time around, though, Clayster and Attach trying to make this 2v3 push happen. They've now got their teammates off respawn. 20 seconds left. FaZe, they want to at least get 1 point before this side ends, but everybody that's lead blocking now dead. Optic Gaming look to get the stop as it's looking like we're going to go into the half with a 2-0 lead for the Green Wall.
Yeah, 10 seconds left. We got a couple players that are nearing their payloads. No one, though, anywhere near some streaks. So really the question now is just, no, not enough time to hit the 1 point toss. The question now is going to be whether or not that one dunk that Optic Gaming was able to get, if that's going to be enough to hold off FaZe going to this side. Because if you think about it, Optic Gaming had them, spawn trapped essentially at blue multiple times, just pinned down in the back of baseball field. They just could not convert many, many points.
On this map, many people regard it as more of an even map between the two sides, but I would say this weekend I've seen most points scored by the side FaZe is now attacking on. So this game not over at all. Maybe just finding a way to shut down Scump could be the difference in this map being a win or a loss for FaZe Clan. If you're just tuning in, Game 1 was decided by 12 seconds, which gave FaZe the win there. Game 2, 1 kill in round 11. Gave Optic Gaming the green light to take that victory. So close, so evenly matched. It's living up to the hype this series as FaZe do get 3 dead. Now they have to push up the map. Frobel just trying to buy time for his teammates to come off spawn, and I do think he's done just that.
Well, the pressure coming all around this bridge side of things. Scump's going to be underside. Able to pick up one. Clayster, though, there for the trade. And again, you talk about that passive play. Optic Gaming is continuing it. They just don't want to make any mistakes. No one's trying to get over-aggressive and do anything by themselves. No hero plays coming in. They're all just hanging around their base and doing whatever they can to win these gunfights. FaZe, though, looks like they're going to be on the aggression. 3 down in their favor.
And look, Karma knows he's got to get closer towards this bowling side. They need to put pressure on Bus. The first player challenges. He's trying to get the shots in with the help of his teammates. They do stop it for the moment. Has the final player been spotted? It's Zuma trying to go for the flank. All dead on FaZe. Optic hold. And FaZe remains scoreless after 6 minutes of gameplay.
Optic Gaming, this is what they love to do. Once they get this drone by Lemon, they all died at FaZe, apparently. So Crimsix, though, is going to be able to pick up 2. He's going to get the 3rd as well. Zuma not able to get the trade. Crim might be able to do this all himself. Goes for the 1 point toss, gets it off, but not quite in the right direction. So no 1 point toss. He stayed alive, though, for a long time, and at least he's bought his team some time to push up. So that drone's still in a hot spot. All the kills coming in. Karma's able to pick up 2, and that's going to be a dunk, all because of Crimsix picking up 3 and then missing a 1 point shot.
Crim with the play of the game right there, but don't get too excited, Optic fans. It's now FaZe who have finally cleared out middle. They're going to move up with this drone. Zuma with the objective in hand. Attach gets the first kill for his team. Zuma settles for the 1, though. Did not feel safe as Optic Gaming do take control of their base. They stop the bleeding. Not enough, in my opinion, for FaZe right there.
Yeah, that's a very big stop from Optic Gaming. Again, the 1 point toss does come in, but no big deal. Now, Optic, the clock is definitely going to be their best friend in this situation. Again, we've seen some passive play. Again, no one getting aggressive. They're all just hanging out, waiting for FaZe to push into them so they can take the advantageous gunfights. Though, Zuma is able to pick up 1 while Enable goes on the fight, picks up 2, clean 4 down. This might be spawn trap.
And this is where the play comes in. FaZe are going to rush forward with this drone. They've got at least 1 dunk, and now the Optic Gaming lead could disappear right in front of our eyes. 30 seconds is all they need. 4 dead again on the green wall. FaZe have the setup they want, and they look to tie up this game or take the lead.
Oh, this is bad news all over it. Attach actually kind of let one player slip past him. He's going to panic punch as well. Still that drone in a precarious spot. He's going to be going for the 2 point play. Not going to connect. Crim coming up big once again, and Scump finishes that final kill on Enable, clearing out the base. So a little bit of greed coming in there, trying to force that 2 point play. It might come back to haunt them.
Crim is the hero of Optic Gaming on this map right now. Stops the score earlier on, gave them the ability to go for that dunk after the 3-piece, and now with him having Optic camo, that's not a thing, active camo, he'll go ahead, try to stay alive, middle map, another base clear. 90 seconds remaining, 1 point the difference. Camo available for both teams, and chance from what we've seen this weekend, that could be the difference maker on a map win or loss.
Well, last time around, FaZe with the flank by Enable was able to pick up 2, and that kind of ruined the setup Optic had. Of course, this time, no one got sent on the flank, and Optic is able to clear out the side. So again, we're back to this 50-50 situation. 1:12 left to go. And again, those payloads are going to be ever important. Enable's got his as well.
Optic trying to hold on to this narrow lead. Attach the furthest pushed up. Optic just trying to move the drone forward. FaZe need middle map pressure now more than ever. They do get a couple kills. 57 seconds left. Enable with the objective. He'll throw it up himself. As FaZe know they need bowling control, but Optic keeps shutting it down.
Again, that passive play, they're hanging back. The perfect strategy so far. Still, though, Glacier is going to be looking to capitalize. It's going to be a little bit sneaky, letting that drone go past, but Voelkel doesn't care. Wins the gunfight. Zoom Naval coming out on top for the moment, but still, that drone is in a bad spot for FaZe. Time is not on their side, and they are not winning gunfights as much as they need to.
And because there's no map pressure from FaZe, everyone on Optic spawning where they want to, but you know what? Clayster says it's time to throw the audible. They go for the field push. Clayster still has overdrive. It's absolutely possible for them to still get a score. Opening kill there for Enable. He gets the two-piece. Crimsix trying to hold again. It's an overdrive push. 4 dead on Optic Gaming. FaZe begin to run. 9 seconds left. Do they go for the win? It can be the done. Oh my God! Oh my God! FaZe win it in the final moments.
Impressive stuff coming out of the Red Rebellion, or whatever their team name is. Impressive plays at the end. The overdrive coming in clutch. All 4 players on the map setting up for that push. And with 3 seconds left, that dunk comes in across. The boldest play they can make. Stop trying to push straight up mid-map. Let's go for the wrap. And it worked to a T.
I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath. The closest series I think I've ever casted. 12 seconds in hardpoint, 1 kill in search and destroy, and 1 point in uplink with 3 seconds left.
Let's get Call of Duty.
If you're not entertained, I don't know what's wrong with you. FaZe take the lead, and we go back to another hardpoint, which is where FaZe got their first map win earlier on in this series. Wow. Wow. Remember, guys, this is the loser of this series gets eliminated.
Yes.
No words there, Chance.
Well, the winner is going to go to top 4. Obviously, it's an incredibly important matchup. 14 months coming. This is going to answer so many questions. And imagine the smack talk that's going to come after this, the bragging rights that each side is going to be fiending for the entire time. And again, hardpoint, 12-point game we saw the first time around. Personally, I hope Optic Gaming wins this because I want to see a Game 5. I would love nothing more than another Round 11 Game 5. It would be the perfect ending to the series that we've been wanting for so long. You just couldn't ask for more.
It would only be right. This series so far has not let us down at all. What are Optic players' thoughts right now? They had the lead. They were holding it for 9 minutes and 50 seconds on that map, and then they drop it in the end. So far, this series has been sick, but I know our analysts want to bring some things up. Maven, take it away.
I'm here with Looney. Okay, so I was actually late to get over the interview. The reason they were filling so long is because I was losing my mind to this matchup here. We saw the tail end of it. These games have been so close. Who's going to take this, man?
I think FaZe. I think FaZe is just like riding on this momentum. I mean, the S&D's last map was kind of a blind counter, which is pretty fun to watch. You know, Clay overdrove. It's just unfortunate they lost that last 1v1. But them clutching up this uplink and winning that first hardpoint, I think they're feeling nice, and they're going to clutch it up on this hardpoint.
Well, what's interesting is to think about the fact that if you're Optic, you may have a chance to take this, and it's going to come down to search and destroy. When you're thinking back to Black Ops 3 at Champs, where they couldn't buy an S&D win, that's sort of been their bread and butter down the stretch here today. But you think it's going to close in the hard point. What is it about this FaZe team that's made them so strong?
Just their new mindset coming into this game. You know, they had a disappointing Black Ops 3 year. They came out, they didn't care if like Envy or Optic weren't at PSX. They just wanted to win to get back to being the top, and they're here to win, and they have that like confidence against Optic. We've never lost home on land, so I think they're really here to prove that they're one of the best teams in the world again.
Yeah, it was something like 455 days since they last played. They're 4-0 against Optic with these rosters. They continue to shut down the green wall, but it's not over yet. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your series here first, though. You're going to be going up against Cloud9 in the Winners Bracket Final. How you feeling going into this? How do you feel about the particular matchup with Cloud9?
I think my 3 teammates, new teammates, they played him at Champs, and apparently Yuli had the series of his life against Cloud9, so I know Cloud9's looking for revenge on them 3 players, so we just had to play our game. I know Cloud9's just been straight winning Game 5, so we got, like I said last night, we have to close them out early. Don't let it get to Game 5. Don't let that X factor in Game 5 come to play.
All right, man, well, good luck as you get in the Winners Bracket Final. Already guaranteed top 3, but it's back to FaZe and Optic. Let's get back to the desk. Ben, take it away.
Thanks very much, Maven. Wow, what a series so far. We said we were excited for it, hasn't disappointed so far. First thing I want to mention, I feel like I'm watching Scump from like 2013. It seems like a different player, a player that we haven't really seen in the past couple of years. Very, very energetic. He's getting up. I mean, looks at the camera, phase up after the map too. I mean, where has this Seth been hiding?
I just don't think he was very confident in himself the past few days of the tournament, and then he comes out today. He sort of learned what he needed to do last night, and he's turned it around today.
Okay. Teep, I mean, how do you stop a player like that? I mean, you've teamed with him, obviously, you know all too well as well yourself, but how do you put a stop to a player who's just being that explosive?
It's really just weathering the storm, to be honest, and FaZe is doing a great job of doing that. You know, all these game types have been back and forth battles, brute force battles on the strong side of the map, and FaZe just needs that one play, wait for their opportune situation, and take complete advantage of it.
We go all the way back to map number 1 of the series. It was FaZe in full control of the hard point, and then all of a sudden we kind of all looked at each other and we went, oh, hold on. Optics, they're starting to make a little bit of a comeback here, Merc. What went wrong with that comeback? Because it looked for a minute as if they may actually do it.
I mean, FaZe just got together. I mean, when you're sort of in those situations, you sort of freak yourself out sometimes. Maybe people don't group up. You know, you're just like, crap, we could blow this lead. Right. But they were just disciplined. They got together on that blue side of that baseball field hill, and they were able to put those kills together, and that's just what you have to do. And
then talking a little bit about the search and destroy, of course, Optic, they bounced back in that one, TP. What were some of the key moments for you in that one?
I just want to talk about that round 11.
Round 11? Okay, I figured that's where you wanted to go.
Really the balls on these guys. That play call, round 11, just to overdrive up that A street, and the fact that Clay was able to get that first kill. They follow up with another, but they don't watch that wall run. Whatever player lost that gunfight to Krim really let everything crumble. And then Karma was playing aggressive on the street as well because he had rewind, so the payload ability is coming in very clutch in that sort of situation. But the fact that, you know, Krim was able to open that up for Karma to get that clutch, great place.
Very good reaction from Optic. But an interesting kind of point that we noticed, you had Scump and Zuma both with reactive. Of course, they couldn't use it yet. They needed to get a couple of points before they were able to. Was that maybe the right play call, Merc, in your opinion, for Clay to say, hey, let's just be aggressive? Could you say, all right, let's see if we can get that reactive first and maybe make a play around that?
I mean, his overdrive play sort of, it worked out. He got first blood. They got position on the bridge. I mean, it's hard to say because Optic had reactive armor as well.
Right.
And it didn't get in play. But like Teep sort of said, once Crimsix was stuck in that corner, FaZe had to jump on it, but they just weren't able to capitalize on that kill.
Then, of course, we head over to a map number 3, and that one, again, it's just unbelievably close. I mean, the green wall was quite literally a wall. FaZe just putting so much aggression, they just couldn't break through, Merc. Finally, though, at the end, we see a bit of an audible call by FaZe.
Yeah, it just took one time. They got into the base, they got those 3 points, and then we were talking about it. They got onto that bridge, and this is where they did. They said, screw it, let's go to the left street. In FaZe, they knew they had camo. I believe they also had overdrive. And you'll see Enable picks up a huge 2-piece. Placer picks this up, and then they just did this trades. And then, look, he takes this, and this was a ballsy play to me. I thought as soon as he saw his teammate get shot, I thought he was going to just throw a 1.
Hey, man, in it to win it, right? I mean, there, of course, you see Clay get loud as well. And that's what's so beautiful to watch, I think, if you're inside the venue, is you have Clay closest to Optic Gaming, you have Scump closest to FaZe, and these two are there just looking back and forth at each other, getting loud there. Of course, you saw Clay get up off his seat, really get the crowd going. A big crowd support here for FaZe and, of course, Optic Gaming. But here, a look at our map set, of course, 2-1 in favor of FaZe. Teep, breakout hard point. How does this one go, in your opinion?
To be quite honest, Optic haven't looked too good on breakout. These longer range maps haven't really paid off for Scump especially, so he needs to be the one that continues these dominant performances on this one and keep the energy flowing. The biggest thing, though, is we talked about before this series started was the Clayster versus Formal battle.
Right.
Who's really winning that? It's tough to say, but I feel like Clay is making more impactful plays, especially with overdrive.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. And then we look at this rig draft, and well, just your default matchups. Yep. Again, sometimes Clayster goes with that Centurion, but looking at this breakout hardpoint, Ben, it's a huge toss-up. I mean, Optic just really hasn't looked good on any other hardpoints besides Throwback.
I personally really want to see a Game 5, though. It's been just unbelievably close games here on Championship Sunday. Without further ado, we can throw it back to our casters for FaZe versus Optic Gaming.
Ben, I can promise you one thing, we both want a Game 5 as well. I'm sure many Optic Gaming fans do too, but the last time we saw FaZe Clan play this map, they went up against the European powerhouse team in Splyce. They beat them 250-22. Can Optic Gaming fare better? We'll have to find out.
Well, it's painful to hear as well, because you heard the analysts talking about it. Optic can't play hardpoint, but the best thing is really just throwback, and after that, they've been struggling. So not only is it a map that doesn't necessarily favor Optic Gaming, but FaZe is fantastic at it. Either way, though, been a close series so far, and at the end of the day, you have to win each individual map. Gonna see what we can do going on board with Scump.
Scump gonna push right up into loading with this OSA. FaZe off the break, the first couple kills with the new change of this hardpoint. The top window control is so important to make sure you can clear out anyone inside this objective. And right now, Formal has the gun he wants. The NV4 absolutely shreds in this scenario. All kills, though, for FaZe Clan at the moment. Zuma starting off 4-0, about to be 5-0. Shut down by Karma.
And those streaks, if he had managed to get up that far, would have been gargantuan in this match. Still, though, it's going to be all about that next till you see Optic Gaming trying to contest. FaZe has been able to get a substantial amount of time on such an open hill. Still, though, you see that rotation is starting to come in. Optic Gaming pushing over on that top side of the map. They're going to be focused on Prison. However, FaZe does have a nice lead.
Formal going to be the first player to challenge back here. Optic with those couple kills, and because of Formal's positioning, you look at your minimap, because Formal's back here, they spawn all the way out, but that's a 1v1 you cannot afford to lose, especially when you know where Enable is. Attached just trying to buy time for his team to come back off spawn. He's doing just that. 2 kills already. Doesn't get the third, but either way, I do believe FaZe have got the pressure they need towards the hard point to go for the retake. That's an example of a time where Optic need to win their gunfights on rotation. A lot of missed score there. 45-8, FaZe continuing to impress on breakout.
And that timing was huge, too. Optic Gaming, though, they're going to be pinching from 3 sides. Looks like the gunfights are going to be won, though, mostly by FaZe. They're able to clear out their base. One remaining player is going to challenge OG. He's going to get dropped pretty much instantly. And what a hill break that was. Optic Gaming, again, we've seen it time and time again. They get that early control, but they just can't hold on. Now talk about rotation battles. Glaciers doing it by himself, going on that 2 streak, and they're going to be able to lock down Grave as well. FaZe, they got a 60-point lead.
They just play this map perfectly. Optic need to refocus for a second. They've now died 8 times in a row. Finally, Formal stops that for the moment. The spawns in favor of FaZe. The score in favor of FaZe. The kills in favor of FaZe so far. Optic, though, the silver lining, it's very early on in this map. 1 solid hold of Grave. If they get these 45 seconds, they're back within 20. How does FaZe play this? They're the best team we've seen so far on this map. What is their shot call? It does look like they're going to send 2 for the back spawn area, and I don't believe Scump is ready for this at all, as he's about to get overwhelmed any moment here. There it is. Clayster gets the kill, but Optic Gaming give him help. 79-33 the score now.
And FaZe really did just go too slow on that. Now they're going to have to flood in all the back, and seems to work for just a moment. Now it's just going to be straight gunfights. Everyone just going at the hill as fast as possible. Advantage, you got to imagine OG. You see that head glitch Karma is on. It's so difficult to take players off of that. So again, FaZe, they tried to take their time and set up. Too slow going down mid-map. So Optic Gaming, they play the Graveyard Hill perfect.
They're feeding streaks right now to Karma. Thankfully, Enable still challenging down that side. So Karma does get taken down. Optic Gaming on the rotation. They've still got the spawns. The first one to challenge will be Zuma through this middle crates area. Tagged up by a grenade and no help from his teammates anytime soon, so he's just going to back on up. What was a 70-second lead now down to just 10 as Optic Gaming begin to show some life.
Yeah, and you can see Crim6 right now. He's just relying on his teammates to call out where he needs to look. And you see his teammates fall in the back. That's where he turns to look. He knows the player's going to be coming up on the wall run. Loses the gunfight. Placer is ready with the gun up. Scump though inside the hill. It's where he thrives, but not able to come out on top. Zuma able to pick up 2. And again, FaZe Clan able to break through.
Zuma 13-7. He was going off of the first hard point. He's doing it again now. Near double positive. Crim6 does get the better of him there, but either way, at the end of this first rotation, it does look like the lead should be in favor of FaZe. Remember, this is an elimination match. If Optic Gaming drop this map, they are out of the CWL Vegas Open. FaZe now about halfway to that 250 score they need to clinch this series.
Yeah, and for how this game started, though, Optic Gaming is in a pretty good spot because they were down by, 60, 70 points. That Graveyard Hill was huge. So back on this first set of rotations, you got to keep in mind as we're moving later what these teams are going to be able to do back on that Prison Hill. Still, though, FaZe continuing their dominance out in the open. Glacier, though, going to get taken down by his adversary, Informal.
What we see in the first hard point, everyone from Optic get out slayed. Again, every single player -3 or more. If they can just get their gun skill and gun engagements to match FaZe, I think this is a game they can take. They're keeping it close, but FaZe keep getting these pinch pressures that Optic aren't expecting, and when Clayster is shooting like that, where's the opportunity for Optic Gaming to come back? I just don't see it right now, Chance.
And again, a huge split spawn is coming in. You have 2 Optic Gaming players on the far right, 2 on the far left, so the gunfights for the guys on the far right, incredibly important for the moment. You see 2 FaZe players are already going to be inside the hill on next. Still though, Crimsix, he's in the spot for his team, trying to anchor these spawns down. Just needs to wait for him. It's actually before he makes a move. He's going to have a player all the way back. Doesn't even spot him. So FaZe, again, in control for the moment. How long can they hold on?
And Optic are spawning here for the moment, but I'm not sure if they'll... Okay, they did get Scump to spawn up with them, so it will be a 4-on-4 engagement. First 2 kill for FaZe. Formal can't clean up 1. He's going to try to stay alive for the moment. 60 seconds now, the lead. FaZe doing everything right, Chance. I'm loving what I'm seeing from this squad on this map. Optic will go for the break. They have a 30-second chunk of time here. But just like last time, it was FaZe on the rotation that worked out so well for him.
What is that spawn that Zuma just got? He just magically popped up all the way in the back, unless I just missed the rotation, but that's going to make things interesting. You might be able to get some scrap time or at least contest the time that should have, I thought, just gone Optic Gaming's way. It looks like Zuma's going to get taken down. Still one more gunfight inside. Attach is going to be able to pick it up. So FaZe, they're able to get the scrap. However, again, Graveyard, think about it last time around. Optic Gaming, they pulled about 45 seconds on that, and that would get them right back in this game.
Scump has been spotted, so he knows he's about to be pressured. His teammates not getting the gunfight wins inside Cave. Clayster gets pressured by 2 people, somehow gets the 2-piece. And look, Optic can't supplement this hill. Finally, they do shut him down. The FaZe is now here. Karma getting overwhelmed. It's a 4v4 engagement now. Clayster pops his overdrive. They're challenging the objective. All the kill feed. Now green as Optic Gaming are back within 50.
Advantage Optic once again, at least inside this hill. But again, FaZe, if they just contest for a little bit or maybe even break through, they would be in a prime position to take this one away. Of course, Karma, again, he's going to be on a streak. You see, he's already got the Trinity because he got the points from scoring a hard point as well, and he's going to be 25 off, and he's even working towards that Warden. And FaZe, they've given up on it. Let Karma get that scrap time. Make sure to pick up that kill. He's the most important man to kill on this map.
The rotation coming in. You could see FaZe already have bodies near it. We'll switch off Karma as he's not going to see any action anytime soon. Formal in the back of the map playing for the spawns. He will call the streak right away. The new hard point comes up. Karma does get 1. He's still on a 5 streak now as Formal just trying to stay alive. FaZe in the objective for the moment. 3 kills away from the Warden is Karma. Optic now going for the pressure. 179 to 148. Scump will lead the charge. First engagement goes to Attach. Zuma and Enable still stacking the hill. It's bombardment time, folks. Karma still on this streak. Now at 6. He's trying to be the difference maker in this map. Optic Gaming still getting pressure from both sides. Karma wins the fight. 1 kill from the Warden. Does he take control of the skies? 25-second difference, Chance. It's still such a close game.
And you can just see how much importance he is placing on his life. Now he knows where the pressure is coming from. He's going on the attack. He got tagged up by Nate. Scump, though, was able to pick up 2, relieving some pressure.
I don't like that.
The challenge and Attach shuts him down. Still, though, a 20-point game. It is not over yet. Optic Gaming, plenty of opportunities. And we're going for that 3rd set of total rotations.
Karma leaving his feet, you could just see, was not ready for the pressure to already be there from FaZe. It was a late call out on the 4-man wall run hit, so no Warden will be had. And so far this map, Clayster has been dominant on this top middle hard point. Optic need to better control loading. Right now they have Formal there. He is the player that must stay alive. You can see on your minimap, Attach trying to flank from that bottom showers area. Let's see it from his perspective. He wins the first gunfight against Scump. Formal now there, though, with the help of Crimsix. Optic within 15.
The way this game is going to go down, it's going to be close after this hill, but it's all going to come down to that next prison side hill. Again, both of these teams are going to be within 50 or 60 points, and you can get the total amount of time on it. So FaZe, it looks like they're still going to be putting a little bit of pressure on mid-map, and now they've gotten slayed out, they're going to sit back. This is the hill that wins the game.
For the first time this game, Optic Gaming are in the lead as the biggest rotation yet comes into play. Formal pops his overdrive. They're looking for whoever is here from FaZe. The mantle's such a poor time for Clay. Attaching the hard point. He's going to get pitched on by 2 players. The timing window is there for Optic. They do get the kills from the backside. Enable still supplementing from this bottom dirt street. Right now, the kills are in favor of FaZe, and there it is. They forced Optic Gaming out. This will be a break for FaZe as they look to win the map with a hold here. And I don't see how Optic Gaming come back. You've got Zuma with reactive. You've got Clayster holding middle. The spawn's in favor of FaZe. They have pressure for one final push. FaZe can win off his hardpoint.
Desperation time. Optic Gaming needs to go. Close game towards the end. 2 players going to be pushing in for mid. But all the kills going in favor of FaZe. Crimsix trying to stay alive. He's able to pick up one. And Tachno cleans them up. Just 7 seconds away, and FaZe is going to take it down. And that is not enough. Optic Gaming, they have to sprint it to hill. And that is your game. Ladies and gentlemen, FaZe Clan taking down Optic Gaming 3 games to 1.
That sets the tone for this year of Infinite Warfare, folks. FaZe move on to 3-1 series victory as the green wall crumbles. Here on Championship Sunday at the CWL Vegas Open, here's a look at your scoreboard. Outside of Karma, everyone from Optic Gaming just really being outplayed. Karma with 2 minutes in the objective, 25-20. But overall, it was a more well-rounded effort from FaZe. And I can absolutely say they deserve that victory on Breakout right there. They just look like the best team on that map in game mode.
Yeah, categorically just getting beat collectively as a team. FaZe just proved that they are the stronger ones, at least early on in the year. They've been looking fantastic. They were expected to be the #1 team coming into the year. And granted, they're in the losers bracket now, but come on, there's only a couple teams left. FaZe, they're in good shape to do it, and they've done it before as well. They have come out of losers bracket, this exact team, and they go all the way to winners finals, and they had to win 2 best-of-5s, and they pulled it off.
Aches is waiting in that winners bracket against Rise that we'll see up next on the main stage. But for now, I know Benson and the crew have some words on that series.
With that win, FaZe, of course, they stay alive today on Championship Sunday. Optic Gaming eliminated from the tournament. But let's talk a little bit about that map number 4. I think there was a key moment there. Karma so close to those streak smoke. Kind of, what went wrong?
I just don't think he played it the correct way. I mean, he saw both of his teammates die in that hill, and there was 10 seconds left. I say just give it up, rotate to the next hill, get those first points, and then he has the ward in it. It's just one of those things where you don't want to think about it.
I mean, how do you play those situations? Because it's such high pressure, right? Like one small mistake, and potentially you lose the game.
Optic got outplayed for the majority of that hard point in the first half. They did everything perfect, though, on that back helipad. They had complete control of it, and that's where they started to get the snowball out of control. But one part of the snowball that was missing from it was the streaks. If Karma was able to get that Warden going over towards middle, that's a complete game changer. The fact that they were able to take the lead on that one going into the last hill over by the cell block area, that would have been probably game over for Optic. It's a huge mistake. You can't die in that situation. You do anything to get that streak there.
Of course, there a recap of that series. The losers round 5, Optic Gaming versus FaZe. FaZe walk away with the 3-1 victory, winning both hardpoints and the uplink, which brings me to my next point. Merc, you're still looking pretty good. You said whoever was going to win the uplink.
wrong team, but I said whoever.
We don't talk about that.
All right.
You said whoever wins the uplink is most likely going to win the series. I mean, FaZe, they won it. Bear in mind, it was a very close one, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's been such a momentum shifter this entire tournament. Even going back to last year, it's just one of those games where if you seem to win it, it seems like you're going to win the next game type and at least send it to game 5. But FaZe, such a good series.
So obviously, FaZe, you look at them, they won PSX. Now they find themselves in the losers bracket. How far do they go, team? Like, what is the ceiling this event for them?
I don't know. It's tough to say. I think they're going to get a lot of momentum beating, their rivals. They've been waiting to play them for over a year, like we've been mentioning.
Right.
So I feel like they're going to start rolling from now on. And if there's a confidence boost, that's it, right? So I think they're going to go far.
They're looking very confident.
Yeah, and I think next they play Allegiance, who won in a round 11, game number 5.
Yeah, a Ninja Diffuse.
So Legion's top 4, which I think is a huge surprise to a lot of people. I don't think anybody would have called that. But, I think FaZe matches up very well against that team. And then if they beat them, they're going to come off and play, the team that loses to this match next. I mean, I'm telling you, man, they're going to end up in the final.
You did say, I will admit you did say, it's a lot of momentum that you can get, and you can kind of steamroll your way through. That's how losers bracket runs do occur, and we already talked earlier on. FaZe, a team that love being in the losers bracket, ironically enough. But that is going to do it for that matchup. Still so much Call of Duty action still to come here in Vegas. For now, we're going to do a quick commercial break. When we return, winners bracket final time.